You are listening to The Vocal Technologist. Spoken tech for your ears.
Welcome back, everyone. Our job today, pretty simple. We've gone through a pile of notes, research, articles, and we're pulling out the absolute best bits for you. Think of it as your shortcut to getting up to speed fast.
Yeah, and we're covering a lot of ground. I mean, everything from really intense performance stuff, new ways of coding, all the way up to the big picture shifts in tech and, how it all impacts us.
Okay, let's kick things off with something genuinely mind-blowing. Picture this. Processing 1 billion rows of data. That's a 13.8 gigabyte file. And doing it in less than 10 seconds.
Yeah.
How? How did someone even manage that with Bun and TypeScript for weather data?
Well, the fascinating thing here isn't just the speed, though that's impressive. It's really about radically rethinking the approach. Instead of just throwing RAM at it and hitting a wall, they got clever.
How so?
They broke the huge file down, tiny chunks like 128 kilobytes, processed directly using file descriptors, bypassing typical memory limits. They parallelize everything too, reading the data and processing it using worker threads.
So parallel I/O and parallel CPU work.
Exactly, and they use things like hash maps for really quick aggregation. It's a master class in, working with the hardware and the kernel, using tools like Bun to their absolute fullest, really creative problem solving.
That's incredible efficiency on a tiny scale. But what about, broader efficiency? Building apps, for instance. I keep hearing about universal applications. One code base for web, mobile, all of it.
Yeah, that's becoming much more real now. Tools like Solito, Expo, they're making it practical, not just a pipe dream.
And the benefits.
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, you get way more brand presence, obviously, across all platforms. But also, we're talking potentially 30, maybe 40% lower operational costs. That's huge.
Right. It lets smaller teams do much more.
Exactly. It sort of democratizes building for multiple platforms, makes scaling way more efficient for everyone, not just the giants.
Okay, so switching gears a bit.
Yeah.
Practical coding. There's this new CSS if function coming. Anyone who deals with CSS knows the pain of endless media queries.
Oh, yeah. This looks like it could really clean things up.
So the idea is you can do conditional styles right there, inline, instead of scattering rules everywhere or needing separate blocks.
Right. The syntax is something like property.if condition1-e1, condition2-2 else, fallback value. Something like that.
Simple.
Yeah. And it raises this interesting point about how, language features themselves can simplify really complex logic. It's a quality of life thing for developers, making code just cleaner, easier to manage.
And sticking with tools, let's talk AI coding assistants. They're evolving so fast. We saw some interesting tips from a former Cursor Power user who's now big on Claude Code.
Oh, yeah. What sort of tips?
Well, practical things, like using Claude dangerously skip permissions, apparently, and clearing the context, often with clear-to-manage tokens, the cost and context window.
Token management. Always key with these LLMs.
But the capability.
Yeah.
That's stunning. This person apparently updated a massive React component, like 18,000 lines of code using Claude.
Wow, 18,000 lines?
Yeah, something that other agents apparently struggled with.
Okay, that's fascinating. It really shows how these AI tools are becoming genuinely sophisticated assistants. They're handling tasks now that were just too complex before. It's changing workflows, boosting productivity.
Yeah.
It's a big shift.
Definitely. Now, zooming out again.
Yeah.
The wider tech landscape. Google's Android-led Samir Samat, he's talking about Android being future first.
What does that mean in practice?
Well, think Android 16 with really deep Gemini AI integration baked in. Better device accessibility, too. And they're still pushing on AR glasses. Android XR, they call it. Seems like they learned a few things from, Google Glass.
Trying again, but maybe smarter this time. And that push into advanced AI, especially the frontier models, it leads somewhere else, too. This idea of the hyper-capitalistic AI talent wars.
Right. Sounds intense.
It is. You've got massive amounts of capital pouring in this fierce race to build the next big AI model. And it's actually changing the culture in Silicon Valley, that old trust-based system. It's eroding.
Yep.
You're seeing new kinds of employment deals, different investment norms emerging. And critically, it's consolidating power. A few really well-funded companies are dominating, making it tougher for newcomers.
So, with all this rapid change, the powerful AI, the platform shifts, what does it all mean for, us for the individual. There's this whole discussion now about protecting my attention at the dopamine carnival.
Yeah, that's a very real thing. The constant pull of devices, notifications, it has cognitive impacts. Things like decreased attention span, maybe even affecting memory. It's constant stimulation.
It really is. So what can people actually do about it?
Well, it comes down to mitigation, right? Taking back some control. Simple things like consciously limiting phone usage, maybe setting specific times for checking things.
Intentional scheduling.
Exactly, and setting guardrails for how you use AI tools, too. It's all about personal agency, really, making conscious choices about how technology influences your focus and your time.
So we've gone from, like, processing a billion rows in seconds to universal apps, new CSS tricks, AI coding partners, the future of Android, huge industry shifts.
Yeah.
And landed right back at the human level, managing our own attention. Quite a journey.
It really is. And maybe a final thought to leave folks with. As technology keeps boosting our abilities, but also, challenging our focus, what are the most valuable skills or even mindsets we'll need in this world that's changing so fast? What part of all this will you dig into next?
Spoken Tech for your ears.